Hey, greetings. Today's video focuses on factorizing and simplifying. So 2.1 concerns itself with factorization and 2.2 concerns itself with simplifying. So let's go over 2.1. It says factorize the following expressions fully. So for 2.1.1, we have an expression that has two terms. And when analyzing these two terms, we can see that x and y is common for both terms, so we can factor that out. So if we factor out x, y in the first term, we're left with y plus. If we factor out x, y in the second term, we're left with 3x. So moving on to 2.1.2, 2.1.2, we have a quadratic expression, x squared minus 7x minus 18. So when we factorize quadratic expressions, we usually have two factors. So we open up two brackets, x and x. Now what you need to remember is the factors that you choose, the numbers that you choose, their product should give you negative 18 and their sum should give you negative 7. So if you consider 9 and 2, you get negative 9 and positive 2. The product of these two numbers gives you negative 18, and then the sum of these two numbers gives you negative 7. So 2.1.3, we have, just going to do it down the side, 2.1.3, we have x squared y minus 16 plus 4y minus 4x squared. So this expression is 1, 2, 3, 4 terms. So we can rearrange these terms so that such that we align like terms. If you see the first two, the first and the last term, we can rearrange it so that we have x squared y minus 4x squared, because both terms contain x squared. Then we are left with plus 4y minus 16. So in the first two terms, we have x squared as a common factor. Factor that out. So you're left with y minus 4 plus. And in the second term, you can factor out 4. So you're left with y minus 4. So in the new expression, we say that y minus 4 is a common factor, so that we can factor that out. So if you factor out y minus 4, you're left with x squared plus 4. So moving on to 2.2, it says simplify the following expressions fully. So for the first one, we have 2.2.1. So basically all that we need to do is just to expand the expression, because it's given as factors. So you just multiply the first term with the terms in the second factor. So this here is 2x cubed minus 6x squared plus 2x, and we do the same for the second term. Multiply negative 1 by the terms on the second factor. So this here is plus I beg your pardon, that is minus x squared, because negative 1 times x is minus x squared, plus 3x minus 1. So now we can collect like terms. This here is 2x cubed minus 7x squared plus 5x minus 1, and then 2.2.2, 2.2.2. So if we analyze this expression as a whole, you can see in the denominator, you can write that as that 4 is an exponent with a base 2, and we can actually restructure this 12 as a product of bases 4 and 3. So we can rewrite this expression as follows. The numerator stays as is. It's already simplified, 3 to the power of negative 3n. But then if we pay attention to the denominator, 2 to the power of 2n, we can write 4 as 2 to the power of 2 into n minus 1, and then 12 can be written as 4 times 3 raised to the power of negative 3n, right? So we can simplify this. We can write this as 2 to the power of 2n minus 2 times, we can bring the exponent inside and raise each of the bases. So we can write that as 4 to the power of negative 3n times 3 to the power of negative 3n. But if we pay attention to this term in the denominator, we can actually write 4 to the power of negative 3n as 2 to the power 2 into negative 3n. So this is 2 to the power of negative 6n. So I'm just going to replace this term and with a new term, 2 to the power of negative 6n. So now we can simplify the denominator. So this is, so we can write this as 2 to the power of 2n plus 2 to the power of n minus 2 minus 6n into 3 to the power of negative 3n. So 2n plus 2n is 4n. 4n minus 6n is negative 2n. 2 to the power of negative 2n minus 2, and that one becomes 3 to the power of negative 3n. Negative 3n. So we can restructure this as follows. It's 2 to the power of negative 2n times 2 to the power of negative 3n all over 2 to the power of negative 2n times 2 to the power of negative 2 times 3 to the power of negative 3n. So already we see terms that cancel out, that and that cancel out, that and that cancel out. So we're left with 1 in the numerator, and in the denominator we have 2 to the power of negative 2. So this here, if you raise the denominator into the numerator, it becomes 2 to the power of 2, which is equals to 4. Thank you for watching. See you in the next one.